and they expanded the costs of our duties. It will surprise you to know that the current Vice President, Shetima, was the person that co-sponsor of the this Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security, and it passed through the first reading and second reading, and on the 12th of April 2022, the 9th Assembly passed our bill, and then the concurrency goes on both the lower chamber and the upper chamber, and they all agreed on the December same year. It was the Chief of Staff now, Bajami Amila. Yeah. Yes, he was the speaker then, and they passed it on to, and then as I'm speaking to you, our bill is before the president. Hopefully, very soon, he will see the need and then assent us into law. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Very, very important that the president will need to see the need so that we can actually get it passed into law for enhancements of forest security to impact Nigeria when we're talking about the issue of insecurity in this part of the country. Now, coming to you, Prince Christopher Mukedi. With securing the hinterlands, the farmlands and the forest in Nigeria is very, very important, because we all know that is the hideout for all these miscreants that foment insecurity and cause mayhem every now and then. Now, what are the mechanisms in order to make sure that you get your men mobilized, and then the local security agencies within localities in trying to comb this forest? Because I'm sure you don't know all the forest in your locality, but you will need to work with indigenes of those areas and maybe hunters that knows the forest. How well do you guys work on your synergy in order to make sure that Nigerian forest and Anambra forest are free from these miscreants?
Thank you very much. I must first say thanks to the federal government of Nigeria and the senators that passed the bill is right now on the president's desk. And our main job and objective is to secure the forest. And we cannot do that without the help of the government. We are here talking about Anambra in particular. As an Anambrian and as a farmer, I'm very concerned about our forest and securing it, which impact the structure of our feeding, the commerce and industry of farming in Anambra State. One, we interact and work with local vigilantes and local farmers association to determine the areas that we're having problems for farmers. Currently, they're selling 4 cups of gari for 1,000 because the farmers can no longer farm. All the farm produce has dried up. We depend on nuts. 90% of the food that being consumed in Eastern Zone come from the north. And now the north cannot even produce the food. But we are concerned now for Anambra State. Now, we are asking the state government to please help us to identify the farms area and secure them. We know the farms. We have people that knows the farm, the Farmers Association, the vigilantes. We know the farms, we know the area, and we know where they are. But we need help to fetch them out.
What kind of help are you talking about here?
We have, we're talking about financial help. We need the government to flag off our organization in Anambra State. Most states has done that, and they see the benefits. We're talking about vehicles for patrol and licensing of the firearm to combat the enemies. 80% of crime committed in the city are being planned and executed in the forest. Our women are being raped in the forest. The children are being taken in the forest. Our school children are being taken in the forest. Farmers will no longer farm. So it's our primary duty to ensure that our road is safety in the road. The kidnapping and banditry, all in the forest. So we need to mark the forest. Currently, we have over 2 hectares of land that Achala people donated for the government. For the government to establish training center. We want this to be training center for the Eastern Zone. If the government can help establish the training center, the people will be safe. And Nigerian hunters will live there for the training center. From there they can operate in all parts of Anambra State. Currently, 90% of Anambra farms cannot farm unless we establish a grant.
A training center where your men can
be trained and empowered to patrol all the forests in Anambra State to secure so that the bandits and the kidnappers will not have a place to operate. Then farmers can work. Okay. That's the only savior we have.
Okay, let me come to you, Destiny. Now, you're talking about having a place whereby your training will be going on, and then you can secure the length and breadth of Anambra forest. Now, the question is, do you have the manpower, as in personnel, that can actually cover the forest that we have in this part of the state?
Thank you for this question. First of all, we have the manpower, but we are still recruiting. Last time, Ebonyi State government recruited about close to 3,000 men that helped the existing officers. So this is an opportunity for the Anambrians, not just to be part of what is happening, but to have a living, be part of it, because very soon, as soon as the president puts his signature on this, for all of us, all the staffs, all the officers are now salary earners, and it will help. So talking about, we have our men on ground because we are still volunteering. It's a voluntary officers, people, all of us, nobody is paying us. So as soon as we have these ones, then plus other ones that will join us, it will help, not just for the group or whatever. I'm talking in terms of reducing unemployment.
Okay.
Yes, talking about unemployment, we project that this organization will employ over 6,000 Anambarians, youths, usually from the age of 18 to 35 to 40. We anticipate that we are going to be a force for unemployment. The youths who are carrying drugs, using drugs, will have opportunity to be trained and taken out from the street. What we're asking is for the government to assist us so that we can be able to get achieved. Currently, we have so many youths volunteering to be a part of the force, but we cannot maintain them. And most states, like you said, has flagged off the organization, working with them. Where information tells us that once it's flagged off, the rate of crime drops by 60%. The rate of food cost will drop by 80%. If the state can make this move with the organization, we are going to secure all the angles that the farmers farm. They will go and farm. I can, on behalf of the government, I can tell the Anambarians that if this is flagged off, a year from now, I will come back to the station. Let's evaluate the cost of food in Anambra State. We cannot talk about better Anambra State without doing the things to better Anambra State.
Of course. Even that seems to be the mantra of the state government, whereby say something, when you see something, you say something.
Yes.
In the video that was shown not too long ago, there I saw you and then the first lady, the wife of the governor, together. Can you tell us a little bit of that?
Yes.
That picture that we saw just now.
Yes. There's a saying that says that the leg that goes left, the eye that looks left sees it.
Yeah.
We have recorded the effort that the First Lady is making in the state. that our governor is doing well is because the wife is behind him. They say every successful man, there's a woman behind it. Our First Lady has shown what no other First Lady has shown in terms of furthering the state, with no disrespect to any other past First Ladies. But we notice that currently the state is moving towards helping the female and male and the female and male of the youths. One, the primary education we have in Anambra today. No other administration has done it, and we know that the First Lady is behind it. The empowerment of women leaders in every local government to control and manage the young girls, we know that she's behind it. The health issue,
the healthy living,
that has never been operated or managed in our state is now currently treating over 1 million women and young children out of drugs, and then making sure that the women from the age of 30 are taking care of vaccination and breast cancers. It has not been done in our state, so we know that the First Lady is behind it, and so on and so on. So that's why we decided to choose the First Lady to be a role model, not only to the women of the state, but the entire state in general. Because when you took care of the children, you're automatically taking care of the family.
Of course.
That's why we have a lot of things in common with the First Lady. The need for the people to prosper, the need to take care of the young ones that we're supposed to take care of. No other First Lady has done that. Therefore, we pushed on the national to recognize recognize her for her efforts. It wasn't an easy task, because she will be the first, or she was the First Lady to be honored with National Patron of Nigerian's Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Services in the country, and we managed to pull that through. Now, Anambra will be the first state to donate a land
for the
training center for the entire Eastern Zone.
And national.
There's no other state that has done that. Anambra has been the light of the nation, and we want to continue being the light of the nation.
Yes.
So if the state will help us to flag off that land and have some structures that will allow the hunters to live there, they will live in the forest, they will operate in the forest. We don't want to have anything to do with the city. They will operate in the forest, and the forest will be free, and crime will drop. I'm guaranteeing the Anambarians that if this is flagged off, a year from now, I'll come back to this studio, let's take statistics from various security agencies on food and crime, and let's see what happens.
Thank you so much for that. Well, I'm already looking forward to that, and I believe that the state government, on hearing this, will definitely do the right thing in order to make sure that your services are flagged up in this state, so that the inflation that we are suffering when it has to do with food and even other amenities and other services will definitely drop. Quickly, let me come to you, Destiny, in this issue. Now, you're talking about recruitment and then the Nigerian hunters and security services. In as much as we have the hunters already as a nomenclature in the organization, how well are they carrying out the sensitization of their activities within the forest to their local communities?
Okay.
Let me take that. Let me take that question.
Okay.
I would like to answer that question because I have been in security industry over 30 years.
Okay.
In America. I left this country when I was 14 years old, class 3 to do 4, and I did all my education in US and joined the police force in California, of which after 9 years I joined the US military. Honorable discharge. And my dream has been to bring security and sensitization of community to Anambra State. I admire the governor, the way he's pulling the state. And I ask myself, after being in US for 30 years,
with your wealth of experience,
with my wealth of experience, I train different countries, law enforcement. And my dream is, when do I have a chance to train Nigerian securities agencies, more particularly in Anambra State? my hometown. And after my retirement, I made this a point to invest in Anambra State and become a farmer. Currently, I'm farming close to 2 hectares of land for cassava and maize in my hometown, Achala, under Utoko Farms. Utoko Farm has been in existence since 1982. So that synthesization is very simple. We have men, we have areas, and we have stages of recruitment to make sure that the right people are recruited.
Because I was even coming to that, because so that you don't have miscreants and criminals
Yes.
and getting information on your operations.
Yes.
In addition to that, like us coming to this place is one of it. We'll be making that, we'll be meeting most of the kings, the Igwes, the PGs, and all the rest. Like one of the PGs, like the PG Umuleri, is part of us. He is the DCG technical. So all this is what we are doing. In Aguata, we have our men doing. Right now, they are met with some of the community Igwes and their PGs and all the rest. So sensitizing them is not that easy, but we are doing it.
Well, quickly, we still have flag points in Anambra State where we know that these hoodlums still occupy.
Yes.
So what are your organizations doing in collaboration with other agencies to make sure that Anambra is totally flushed of these miscreants in our forest?
Yes. Frankly speaking, I'm not going into details because we're on
public domain.
But the truth is that it pains us what is happening, and we have met the necessary stakeholders. You know, the police is the first stakeholder. We've met with them, and we have a meeting that we can collaborate. I believe very soon the flash play areas are known, and very soon, with a proper synergy, we are going to help and handle it properly.
Thank you so much. You're a farmer, and then we all know the menace of cattle rearing, what it does to farm. Is there a way you collaborate with the herders, the Hausa community, on the Fulani community, on why or why not to allow their cattle roam free in our farmlands?
Thank you. We have collaborated with them, and it's very simple. We have a plan to map out areas, common areas, unused areas of this state that they can take the cattle to
and graze
without damaging crops. Farmers farm to some limited areas of land, and there's still unlimited land that they can graze their animals to, but they don't know, and there's no training, there's no way for them to know. So they carry the cattle within the domain of farming. But it's our intention that we have vast of land. Take for instance about Achala. Achala has the largest land in the state, and 1/3 of Achala has not been, 90% of Achala land has not been touched. The government can come in, give them a place to graze their animals, and then...
Is it to graze or have a settlement, like a ranch settlement?
Yeah, if you know, the ranch is very expensive. I've lived in US, I see ranches. If they go into ranching, the cost of food and meat will triple. So it is in the best interest of our people to map out a specific area for them to graze. Let the animal move around, but curtail in some certain area large enough for them, so that they don't move from Aguata to Achala to Aguleri to everywhere. You collect all the rearers to some certain area and leave that area for them. It's more like a ranch, but more like tropical ranch. It's a tropical ranch because they feed themselves. They can even dig a borehole for water for them. Unlike normal ranch, they curtail. Actually, the grazed animals are more fertile and more healthy to consume than the ranching animals. The Westerners, are regretting about ranching because of the cost and unhealthy animals that was ranched. So the solution is to map a land for them to graze the animals without crossing the boundaries, then there's still a place enough land to farm. That's the better solution. Trying to stop them not to move around or graze them is not fair, because that's their profession. 90% of properties in Kano, Kaduna, Zaria are owned by Igbos, because that is our entrepreneur. That's what we do. These the Fulanis and other entities, that's their profession. So we should try to accommodate them, give them a place to rear and graze the animals.
Is this you speaking, or is that what the Nigerian?
No, it's me speaking.
It is you speaking.
It's me speaking that we should give them a place to graze.
But we've been having communal clashes, and I believe that your organization is not only in Anambra State, it's cut across the entire federation.
Yes.
So if this is you speaking, and probably knowing that we have these clashes from every now and then, like in Benue, in Plateau, over land and grazing with the cattle herders, and don't you think it's time for us to probably enshrine this into law, or probably look for a way in order where the farmers will get to farm peacefully, yes, and then the cattle will definitely get to have where to graze, just like you rightly said.
Yes,
but before then, let us. No, you can go.
Okay, let me come in this place. Yeah. I think there should be a very great sensitization. Most times people don't, the headers and what have you problems that we're having. Like he said, it is a great sensitization. You know your boundary.
Yes.
I know my boundary. You know, agreement between the two stakeholders. Please don't go to this place. Go to this place. Agreement. We settling in this area, we can give you this place for over a period. Because if you give them to stay, that means you have given them that place.
In perpetuity.
Yes. So over a time, you use this area, because you are going to still use the dumps of the cows for manure. So when that time reach, we can give you where we have what they call, I think, is shifting cultivation or something like that. Then we now move you to this place and what have you, and all this sort of thing. So let there be agreement, let there be sensitization. We are all one.
Well, like you rightly said, we are all one, because the farmers need the manure from the cow, and then the cattle rearers equally need the weed.
Yes.
Cultivated from the farmland.
And I don't mean to take words into your mouth, but currently a bag of dirt from the chicken is about 10,000 naira, a bag of manure of chicken. A bag of manure of
cow dung
is 20. And pig, a bag of pig is 15. And the farmers need it. It's more fertilized, more natural to farm, and bring in than importing fertilizers. So we can use this dust for farming while they move to another shift cropping. The government just need to bring the stakeholders, like he said, together and find out the better solution. Everything is not about law. Of course, you can make law, but you can't enforce it, as we all know. This is not about, it's about understanding and living and let live. Like I said, most of Igbos are all over the country.
So, having businesses.
None of them have chased away. So let's accept them, give them a place, stay here, we stay here. Don't damage our crop, don't come and disturb you. Maybe every 2 years, you rotate.
But let me come to you, Destiny. There are instances in Nigeria where we've seen on social media gun-wielding cattle rearers. Now the question is, why would a cattle rearer be wielding gun, apart from the machete that normally they should have in order to kill maybe reptiles and the rest of it all? When other agencies, established agencies in Nigeria, are not wielding gun, how appropriate is it for them to be wielding guns?
Well, by law, I think this is wrong. There's no law in this country that allows individuals to move with gun. But we tend to understand from intels and information gotten that most of these guys are not Nigerians. most of them are not Nigerians. They are just like imported criminals. I've been in the north, I lived in the north, I schooled in the north. A true northerner doesn't have that spirit.
Doesn't need to carry gun and be moving around with his cattle.
They don't have that aggressive nature of James. That's the true ones that knows what they are doing. But you see all these ones that are moving around begging for food and all the rest of the unkept ones. By the time they allow these foreigners to come in, they will now brainwash them. And at the end of the day, they are not doing what they are doing. So, but to your question, it is wrong for them to go about with ammunition.
Thank you. At this juncture, let's go for our street walk and get to feel the pulse of our street parliamentarians on the issue that we are talking this lovely morning. We'll come back and then we'll continue from there with the gentlemen in the studio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install our TV decoder brand and tune to channel 315 or install any free-to-air satellite decoder and search for ABS TV.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803 388 8526 or 0806 883 9902. ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
I apologize for that street walk that didn't actually come up. This is a sensitive matter, and I don't think Nigerians or Anambrians will have the in-depth knowledge of what it is that we are talking about. So we'll still continue and go back to the gentlemen that we have in the studio so that they can be giving us more insight into the activities of the Nigerian Forest and Security Services. Before we went on break, we were talking about the synergy, the cattle understanding, and then the farmers, in order to have that symbiotic relationship, knowing that we both need ourselves for different services. And now, part of the bill that is sitting on the president's table, apart from the power to get employed and be paid for salaries, what other benefits are out there for Nigerians that are watching that will probably want to be part of this establishment?
Okay, thank you. The employment, yeah, and the major aspect of it is security. There are places that the eyes of the government, that the security agencies are not there. Take for instance the hijack of the train the other time. The train passed through the forest. That's government property, and people are living there. So we need to have eyes in the bush. We need to have ears in the bush, like you rightly said, and that's our slogan. See something, say something right. We need to have it. So it will help anybody coming. It will bring investors. When they look, let me tell you, a true businessman will never go and waste his money. Whether a nation, whether an individual, never go and waste his money. When he know that maybe once he put that money there, the whole thing will just scatter. But a true businessman looks at risk. When the risk is very, very high, that he can even crumble, he may run away. But Nigerian hunters and forest security will help in reducing such a risk. By the time you are hearing that, okay, the forest is safe, you can go, okay, like for instance now, in Imo State, some days ago, our men were there. A man went to go and see his property, a land sold to him. They were telling him he came back all the way from abroad, just for him to go and see his land, and he was adopted. He was kidnapped. We got the information and we sent our men. We retrieved the car, and the person is still at large. What I'm saying is that if we have eyes there, such information will get to the appropriate quarter. If it's the military, if it's the DSS, if it's the NDLA and what have you, they will react and they will come to the aid. You know, what Hunter is trying to put to the table is not reaction, reactive. We are proactive. We want to be there before time.
Before time.
We want to be there before time. So when we are there, there's nothing, and you will see that crime will rapidly reduce. It will come to the barest minimum, because there won't be any safe haven for them to go and hide.
Okay.
Let me add to that.
Okay.
Is individual that commits crime, and statistics tells us that the encouragement for 90% of the crime are unemployed or laziness or inability to achieve. If the government, I'm talking about Anambra as my state, can encourage hunters to forge ahead and comb the forest, like I said, it's going to employ over 6,000 youths. Those 6,000 youths can no longer be crimers, rather they become crime fighters. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like win-win situation. Mm-hmm. The government will win by creating employment. Yeah. Government will win by lowering crime. It's people that commit this crime. But if they're part of preventing crime, then the crime will drop. And the only avenue to put this forward is to create a means of living for the youths. 90% of the crime committed in the state are by youths. You ask yourself why? Why can't they be doing something? Now it's an opportunity for them to do something.
And be useful to their community.
So in addition to that, if you notice, most, like you said, unemployment, laziness, and what have you used to see, there's another thing that helps or instigates, which is drug. And the drug is not, most of them are not manufactured within the cities or where people are residing. They go out of where the eyes will be. Which is the forest. And there's this collaboration which the NDLE has trained our men, like we have been trained by police, we have been trained by NDLE, we have been trained by military, soldiers and all the rest of them. And they are giving us tactics. We have been trained and we have been training, and we still be going for training. If we're not going for training, we won't be looking for this land we're talking about. So what I'm saying in that sense is that there's this signage. If you look at it all the way around, Nigerian hunters is like at the center of security, because there is this networking here and there where the eye of the NDLEA will not be, because most of these are planted in the bush. The eyes of hunter is there. Where the immigration cannot go or the borders they cannot cover, the hunters are there. Where the military people maybe cannot see, the eyes of hunter is there. The people that committed crime within the society and run away, and the police is not there, they will run to a place. In short, as a matter of fact, they will run to our parlor. And when they come to our parlor, we will just apprehend them and they take them to the appropriate way. So there's a lot of benefits that Nigerian hunters and forest security is or will render to the society at large.
Thank you. I don't know if this is going to be an overlap of jurisdiction, because I know we have forest rangers in Nigeria protecting against illegal killing of bushmeat, and then biodiversity in all these almost endangered animals. The Nigerian Forest Security Services and the rangers, the forest rangers, are you guys working in collaboration? Or is it just separate duties that you people operate? You
know, like they say, security is not a one-man business.
Okay.
There's no how you will say this person, his duty is not good, or the duty is not helping the society, one way or the other. Even a market woman, even a boy can give you an information that can bring down a whole network of criminal activities. So there is a collaboration Nigerian Hunter is there to collaborate with anybody, not even just the security agencies. So there's no clash of duties in that aspect.
And again, like you mentioned, forest rangers.
Yeah.
They prevent animal,
So
yes.
Poaching of animals and then killing of endangered animals.
Yes. In every organization, there's what they call divisions of labor. That does not mean that they're separate. Those are specializing in prevention and protecting animals. But when they see a crime, they're not trained for that. That's not what they are there. So when the hunters comes in, their area of specialization is different from that of protecting the animals. That's why most of the time they say, when we go, they say, where's the bushmeat? I said, no, we're not the one responsible for bushmeat. We're responsible for the bad boys. You know. So there's a division of labor in all the paramilitaries and security agencies. When we go there, we're not going there to protect or prevent, this and that. But we cannot be there while it's happening. Yeah, but we focus attention in some certain area of crime and crime-related activities. So we're all going to work together. No tree makes a forest. It's collaboration of all the agencies that comes out to be a better system.
So with your organizations now, can Nigerians, like you said, in 1 year's time, if you get flagged off, there will be peace, relative peace in Anambra, that the prices of food will definitely come down because farmers will now be able to go to farm and farm unhindered. Is that going to be cutting across Nigeria because we are having insecurity bedeviling every part of Nigeria, most especially in the middle belt where most of the food that we eat is coming from, and in the far north? Is that the same assurance that your organization is giving to the entire Nigeria?
Yes, if the state empowers each state hunters. They say, what is this? They say, together we can make it. If Anambra empowers Anambra hunters, and everybody does the same thing, and Delta does the same thing, together, everything is, is working together. But like I said, I'm only concerned now about Anambra State. Let the governor help us. And a year from now, I know, because I'm a farmer, and I know how much food is sold in the market. Like I said, 4 cups of garri is 1,000. Last year, it was about 7 or 8. It keeps dropping down. If we are flagged off and we move into the bush and allow the farmers to farm, I will come back to the studio a year from now, still in the same administration, to tell Anambarians how much. I'm saying now, 4 cups of garri is
1,000. Yeah.
I'll come back a year from now and let's send people to the market. How much is yam, plantain, garri, and vegetables? But we need the state to support us. Quote me. I will come back to the studio.
No, you don't need to. I will remind you. I know.
As long as the state plays their part, the rest is on us.
Okay, so much.
We are the leaders. We are the contingent, fighters. We fight bad boys and not animals. So let everybody play their role. And let's see a year from now, come back to the studio. And I'm very happy that First Lady is also a farmer. First Lady is a farmer. And I was surprised, we are surprised when we visit her to know that she was a farmer. The richest people in Western world are farmers. 90% of American senators and House members are farmers.
But not in this kind of subsistence farming.
Yeah, but we can
mechanized farmers.
We can do it. We can do it. The richest people are farmers. They invest in farm. Government are the richest farmers because World Bank food are funded by countries to farm and produce for the World Bank. All the food going to Ukraine and Israel are through the World Bank food supply. Who farms them? Different countries. Nigeria contributes in these farms that goes to areas of emergencies. So I'm very glad that the First Lady is a farmer. It shows that we're on the right track. So let's put together, and at least for our state, I want to be able to send my wife to the market and comes back with a 15 naira worth of grain. Now grain is 200 naira because they cannot go there and farm and yield the grains. The royal family has brought over 5,000 plots of land for the widows in our community, actually, to farm within the community, because they can no longer go far and farm. So the royal family donated more than 5,000 plots of land only for the widows to farm within the community. And that's not even known to the state, but we are doing it. Because Achala is a food producing area.
Mm-hmm. It is well documented that.
So in addition to this, I traveled to Castina on Saturday, I think last Saturday by road through Abuja. Getting to a place, Malofashi, the drivers were talking, and they were talking about the insecurity. There's a particular village. That morning, he was telling us that 15 people were murdered, killed. Both children, women, the farmer. And what happened? According to him, they had been waiting for rain. And a day before, there was heavy rain. And they went into their farm to go and farm. And that is the problem. It's a bandit came and killed them that morning. This Saturday that just passed. So what is the problem? What do they want? Why do you kill people? Because you don't want them to farm. And the man was telling me, the drivers or the passengers, when we were talking about, they say something that they find it difficult now to go to farm. And virtually most Northerners are farmers. Whether professional, whether peasant.
Even I remember then there are times where you no longer see these artisans within the southeast, because anyone you call and ask, they say they've gone home to farm.
Yes, I'm coming to that. Because you see that they have run away from their farms. And this is the area we are saying government allow us to be an eye there. Because by the time maybe they call, hey, some people are coming from there, and then before the military, the reinforcement will come from the city to come to that place, they've done all that they are doing. And they have left. But when we have an eye there, we can at least have
preventive measure. Yeah, they will need to be in the forest for them to perpetrate their crime. But if people are there ahead of time, such will happen.
Yes. Now go to Abuja. You will see most of the plateau guys, Adamawa, all those flash areas and all the rest. They've run to Abuja. Young boys, young children. They are not going to farm again. And they know that they are coming to Abuja, that there is money there. They will be doing menial jobs, things that are not, doing things that are not. But they are very good in farming back home. Why? The bandits are there. Nobody can, go. So there's going to be a collaboration.
And let me add to that. When I visited this country 10 years ago, it was less Okada and tricycle keke. Then we used to hear about Abakaleke rice, Agulere rice, Achala rice. 10 years ago from now, nobody has ever heard about Abakaleke rice, Achala rice, or Agulere rice. Because all the farmers are now cycle riders, Okada, and tricycle riders, keke. They have been chased away from their hometown, popped into the city to find a living. And when they were talking about ban Okada and ban keke or control Okada, I said you are creating more crime. Because when you take Okada from them, what they will do? Crime. When they ban keke, push it to the village, what do? Crime. So if you open up the forest, and you know that most of these young kids, they will go back to the village and farm, because look at a plate of food is 1,000. If they're in the village, they don't want to buy food. A plate of food is about 200 naira in the village. Come to the city, 1,500 with no meat, because they can no longer farm. One of the guys I met last time said, what are you doing here? He's selling pure water, chewing-gum, this and that. I called him, I said, come, how old are you? 19. Then he said, 21. So, what is your goal? He said, my goal is to farm and take care of my family. But now, we can't farm. So my wife gave me the last money she saved to come talk and sell pure water. You see why you see people hawking pure water and hawking this on the street, because they can no longer farm. So this would be a great opportunity. I'm talking about Anambra, my state, to flag off this organization so we can enter the bush, clear them, and then people can farm. And I also heard about the farmers initiative that the state started. I see them collecting names to give programs, grant for farmers to, which is a good move. How can you give a farmer grant and it cannot farm? So that program is good, but it came at wrong time. You give a farmer 500,000, they cannot farm. What is he going to do? Eat the money.
Eat the money.
So let us take the first step first. Clear the bush, make it easier for them, and then give them the grant so they can go back and farm.
Thank you so much for your submission. Well, on this note, because of month of time, we'll be rounding up this program, and then I want to say a very big thank you to the gentlemen in the studios here that have really dealt well with the problem that we are talking about. Mr. Destiny Emmanuel Jonas, Deputy Commander, Administration of Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Services, Anambra State. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And to you, Mr. Prince Christopher Mokedi, ACG, Amori National Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Services. It's always a pleasure to have you around. And to Anambrians out there in the Anambra, we say, well, if you see something, you say something, because security is the responsibility of all of us here. We are not just leaving it for the security experts. We believe that we all have a collective role to play in securing our state and then Nigeria at large. I still remain Angelo Chukwuokagwe. We'll do it again next week. Thank you for watching and have a blessed weekend. Bye for now.